Three, two, one.
Ladies and gentlemen, heels and faces, casual wrestling fans, and all you smart marks, I am Mr. Richie Moon,
And I'm Kayfabe AJ.
and this is the Kayfabe Livecast.
Or is it the podcast?
I don't think there's any arguments to that. I think it's
I
definitely
think
a livecast.
it's the
I
livecast.
think it's definitely a livecast.
And the podcast.
And the podcast. Tomato, tomato, is the Bucks of Jericho, or is it Y2 Jackson? You know why? It doesn't matter. Because they only need to find us at one place.
Where's that at?
Well, since Rock's baby left him,
I need a guitar song for this.
well, he found a new place to dwell. Well, it's down at the end of Jabroni Drive at...
AJ, what are we talking about today, sir?
Well, we got a couple of news. Let's run down some news first.
Let's get into the news.
So, WWE signs Walter.
Ooh.
I don't really know much about Walter, so you gotta fill me in.
Oh, man, I feel like just smacking my own chest. You want to talk about a guy that gives out the hardest knife-edge chops in the entire game, in the entire wrestling business.
That's what people are gonna have to be worried about, the knife edge chops?
No, dude, you don't
It
understand.
has to be
You don't
Chris
understand.
Benoit level chops.
They're beyond Chris Benoit level chops.
Beyond Chris
They are
Benoit
beyond
level
Chris-
chops.
Like, you don't understand. This is why you don't understand. Walter, you gotta go watch Walter. You don't understand. Walter is a big man's big man. He's not just not to Lars Sullivan, because now Lars Sullivan is good, but think about a Lars Sullivan more in shape.
Speaking
and
of
even
Lars,
more
he's been
athletic.
getting a lot of promos
Yeah, 'cause Vince
on
loves
both
him.
Raw and SmackDown still.
Yeah, because
But
Vince loves him.
comparable in size to a Lars Sullivan?
He's probably a little bit bigger than Lars Sullivan. He's more athletic, and this guy can wrestle. His nickname is the Ring General, because this guy can go. He's had matches with Will Ospreay, Tyler Bate, yo. That's a match you need to go watch with him and Tyler Bate. Yo, it's like Andre the Giant and Hulk Hogan. Dead serious. Not comparing them, but like the way like they did like the whole Tyler Bate had the gold trunks on. Tyler Volta or got the black on. Just the size dynamic. You just
So
huge.
when you say ring general, like, I'm thinking like the Triple H's, people like that.
Oh, this guy. Well, one of the reasons why WWE signed him is because he's gonna be like a big. He trains guys over a company called WXW out of Germany, and he's a trainer. So not only is he a wrestler, he's a trainer. So this guy, he knows the ring. When you see him in the ring, you'll see that he's not just a regular big guy. This guy can move. He can go. He has matches with Will Ospreay. So
Yeah,
that tells you enough.
But
right
Will
there.
Ospreay can make anybody look good.
Yeah, but it's not Will Ospreay carrying him. It's not Tyler Bate
I'll
carrying
have
him.
to.
You
Well,
just gotta go.
that was
look at
definitely
Walter.
a big thing. They were
Huge
making
signing.
waves on Twitter
It's a
and
huge signing.
Instagram that
WWE been
Walter
trying
is,
to get-
is signed.
WWE been trying to get him for months. Cause he's a big deal. Definitely, he's a big deal.
So, final battle. And this news kind of upsets me because we were gonna go to final battle,
Oh yeah.
and then we were like, you know what, the card is decent, but you know we can pass off.
Well, on the
And then they
last-
make a 3-way ladder match between SCU, the Young Bucks,
I see you.
the Young Bucks and the Briscoes. Now the Briscoes are the 1,000 days plus Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions.
Yeah, man, they had oh my god, they had such a good match. So it was the Briscoes versus the Young Bucks, and it ended up in a double DQ. And then at the end of the match, SCU comes out and said, "Well, since both of you lost, we're gonna make this a 3-way match." And that's how we just led to what you're just talking about there. And yeah, well, no, the Briscoes aren't the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions.
No,
Right
but
now,
they
that's-
were over 1,000 days when they were.
Yeah, all the time.
Well, days accumulated through rings.
Yeah. The Briscoes, when we do our top 5 spoil right now, Briscoes are my top 5 tag teams right now. Straight up.
That's a big
Because the Briscoes are dope. Briscoes are putting it down for.
that's a big statement when you got these guys in the match.
Oh yeah. Of course. They up there too. So is SCU. But you know what I'm saying? SCU. But I mean they're right up there. You just said it. 1,000 days accumulated.
Yeah, so Now I'm upset that we didn't actually get the tickets to go to Final Battle.
We
And,
might be there.
I mean,
maybe.
tickets looking kind of scarce, but we'll check again.
Yeah, we'll see what we can
Regal's son actually made his Progress debut.
do. Ooh.
So anybody who knows William Regal, amazing technical
I
wrestler,
didn't know that.
definitely multi-time champion.
Son.
You know, a lot of people have son. Billy Gunn
Oh yeah,
has been training.
Billy Gunn.
Billy Gunn looks like the Hulk right now.
Yo, Billy Gunn is just.
Billy Gunn looks like the Hulk
Wow.
right now. So he's
Huge.
behind his son and he's pushing him in his indie run. So
Billy Gunn's son was in an
we got Scott Hall's son, Cody
Yeah.
Hall. We got a lot of people debuting now in the indies and, you know, trying to carry the legacy. We got the Hearts, Davey Boy Smith doing his thing.
The Edge and Christian show.
All right, we're gonna take a little stop for Edge and Christian.
Hey, this is what we do. I know people know that we watch wrestling, you know, while we podcast or live cast. So, hey, ain't nothing different. Nothing changed.
So yeah, we got William Regal's son debuting in Progress. We also have the WWE. They're starting to prep the split for the production crew. They're actually going full fledged with this Fox deal as far as like SmackDown becoming its own thing, and as far as more different approach to the production.
We have about, I think, 9 months left. Oh yeah, SmackDown's gonna be different. You're gonna start to see SmackDown
moving to Friday,
start to
so
change.
people want to see the so-called A show. They're gonna have to commit to a Friday night.
That's definitely gonna be the A show with all that money they're putting behind it, and Fox wants SmackDown to be more of a sports orientated thing. So, you know, it's not going to be so much of the sports entertainment. It's going to be more based on sports, which it should be. It just should.
So, you know, they're gearing up for that. I'm really curious as what's that going to look like as far as SmackDown getting a more sports feel. I'm hoping, like I keep saying, it has like a New Japan kind of feel as far as like the titles are the main focus rather than the storylines and stuff
I
like that.
definitely think that's going to be a main focus of it. The titles, the in-ring, the bell-to-bell, the way it's set up, like how you watch an NFL game, how they're like the pre-show and all that. I think that's going to be a big part of it. That's why they wanted DC to come and commentate. They wanted to add that real fight feel to it. So SmackDown, I think progressively is
Daniel
definitely
Cormier from UFC, right?
Yeah. That's who brought Lesnar.
I haven't heard it. I heard he announces for UFC, but I haven't really heard anything from him.
He's a beast. You ever watch a Daniel Cormier fight?
Speaking about things WWE's doing, XFL's teams are going to be announced this week coming up. Hopefully, you know, your favorite town or your city you live in gets one. I don't think New York needs it. To be honest,
I hope the XFL.
And if so, where would they even play in New York?
I hope the XFL is super successful, and I hope Vince puts all the tensions into the XFL.
I mean, with all the controversy surrounding the NFL, this is the perfect time to swoop in and take all those people who are like conflicted. Like, I want to watch football, but I kind of hate what this organization is doing and
that's true.
What they stand for.
That's
so
why I don't even.
it's smart.
I don't even care to talk about that.
Yeah, it's smart.
But, yeah, I hope it's super successful, and I hope Vince McMahon gives all his attention to the XFL, so then he can start giving Triple H and more reigns and more power, because we need Triple H to hurry up and take over.
So moving on, we have Kairi Sane. She's unfortunately suffering from hand, foot, mouth disease. It's something that happens to infants, and that's the reason she's been out.
Sheesh.
Yeah, that's kind of harsh. Get well, Kairi Sane. She's
Kairi Sane.
Great in the ring. Jesse the Body Ventura is another person who's vying for the 2020 presidential election.
The Body.
Honestly, I dig it. He was the governor of I forgot what state, but he has his hand already. Jesse Ventura for the show he used to have. I forgot what conspiracy theories with Jesse Ventura. Yeah. He exposed a lot of stuff. That's something people should definitely look into. Yep. Jesse was dropping truth, so you know, presidential run. We'll see what he.
They're not gonna
Yeah, I don't.
But it's fine. Hey, listen.
I mean, the other person who's rumored to want to join in that race is The Rock, 2020.
Well,
so it's between the body and
I don't really like
the
the
people's
I
champion.
don't really like the salt politics, but we just.
But that's what's going on.
Yeah.
Jesse the Body Ventura might end up trying to go for the presidential seat. We have John Cena getting the Muhammad Ali Award for Sports Illustrated, and we have Titus O'Neil getting the Ebony Power 100. So congratulations to them. On a more sad note, we have Edge's mother just recently passed away, and he was on Twitter. He posted, a tribute picture. So rest in peace to Edge's mom. My condolences to him.
Definitely.
Nikki Cross. Nikki Cross made another appearance for SmackDown.
What, another house show or something like that?
Yeah, but the question is she SmackDown or is she still NXT? I feel like they're just.
She getting called up soon.
I think she's gonna get called up soon, and they're probably wrapping her storyline stuff with NXT since all that is kind of pre-taped anyways.
She didn't really have. She kind of has it with Candice LeRae. They had their match. She won. But she really had nothing else to do in NXT.
I mean, she could always, win the women's title.
She doesn't really need to.
I'd rather her win the NXT Women's Championship before coming up because it's not a guarantee that she comes up and even gets in the running for a Women's Championship.
This is true.
So I'd rather see her do it in WWE.
There's a lot of.
In NXT.
NXT. There's a lot of potential future NXT Women's Champion, and I don't think Nikki Cross is one of them. You got the undefeated Bianca Belair.
I definitely see Bianca Belair getting in the running for it, but I don't see her winning it until Shayna Baszler's gone.
Shayna Baszler versus Kairi Sane, that's still going on. They were bringing in the other horsewoman. So I don't think Nikki Cross really fits this. I don't think Nikki Cross really needs to really win and it's just kind of past that.
They're still playing the is she, isn't she thing with us as far as if Nikki's on the main roster yet or not.
They do that. In the summertime,
they need to just finish throwing her up with Sanity and get that stable up and running the way it was supposed to be because we didn't know how big Nikki was to Sanity until we didn't have her with them.
It's true.
So
it's very true.
Another sour note. There's a big situation going on with James Ellsworth. I don't know if we actually spoke about it on any of our podcasts, but I definitely put news clippings and stuff on Kayfabe AJ on IG and on Twitter. You can definitely check those out. So the situation with Ellsworth is he was caught up in a scandal sending naked pictures and making movements towards a 16-year-old girl, and that was last week's news. But this week they're saying that he tried to pay someone to rob her phone to kind of destroy the evidence. I think that's a little extreme, but it's not looking good for Ellsworth. There's a lot of proof, supposed proof and evidence going on, and it's another Enzo Amore situation, and we'll see, I guess, how that pans out at the end of the day. But he's getting blacklisted around the industry. He's already lost almost all his bookings. I think he's done for sure.
That's very unfortunate.
Yeah, I know it's a sour subject, but it is what it is. Jake the Snake appeared on Joe Rogan's podcast.
Nice.
It was actually really good, really in depth. I learned a lot of stuff I didn't know about Jake before. Like he got raped when he was little. And
wow.
That affected him and made him, take it out on drinking and doing heroin and a lot of stuff. And he talked about DDP and DDP yoga and how DDP actually took him into his house for 3 years, helped rehabilitate him, bring him back to full health. He's been clean.
A documentary about that.
That was kind of what they were speaking about. That was like one of the bases for him being on Joe Rogan's podcast.
Yeah.
But very in depth, and a lot of funny stuff. Even the story with Macho Man Randy Savage and the snake biting him. Good material to listen to. It's good to even have Jake the Snake still around and kicking. So, good soundbite. Watch my man soundbite. All right. I see you. You coming out the woodwork with the soundbites, huh?
Got a little surprise here and there.
So Ring of Honor re-signs Silas Young, and
Yes.
they signed Brody King.
Yes.
So anybody who's worrying whether the
PCO.
Elite
And
or
PCO.
SCU leaves, it looks like Ring of Honor is doing what they have to do to maintain, people there.
I don't think we necessarily, you know, it, Ring of Honor and the Elite are still working together. They, Nick and Matt were recently on a podcast of Wrestling Perspective, and they were talking about how they're still working together. So, just because AEW is starting, I don't think it's going to be a complete separation from.
Well, speaking of AEW, that's very big news this week. The trademarks being filed for All Elite Wrestling, which is what's rumored to be what the Bucks and the Elite have been dealing with.
Yeah.
And you got to back up a little bit. You got in the view.
Oh.
But yeah, that's been big news. The owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars is the one funding the situation. So
Yeah, but I mean,
even Cody made an appearance in the Jaguar Stadium.
yeah, there's a lot of possibilities, but Nick and Cody have both said 2019 is going to be a big announcement. So
Oh, we just gotta wait.
2019, yeah, we just
It's
gotta
only
wait.
what, 3 weeks?
Yeah, we gotta
3
wait.
weeks.
We got the Being Elite storyline going on with the countdowns going on. So we just gotta wait. I know that 2019 is going to be really interesting. 2019 is going to be very interesting.
Yeah, it's right around the corner, and shit, we only a few weeks away from WrestleMania, the road to WrestleMania. So, matter of fact, speaking of WrestleMania, they actually changed their schedule.
Yeah.
Takeover is no longer on Saturday; it's going to be on Friday, and it's switching places with the Hall of Fame.
Yep.
Now, people are saying this is in direct response to the G1, Ring of Honor New Japan, doing a show in Madison Square Garden. They're saying, I don't think it is either. The official explanation was that the people who do the travel packages, they usually kind of skip out on Friday's events, fly in Friday and like do Saturday and Sunday to take over Mania.
Yeah.
So they're trying to implement the Hall of Fame by getting more people in the seats for Hall of Fame by putting it on Saturday, which makes sense.
WrestleMania is a week-long event. People don't realize that. When they come here, they're gonna pull up on that Monday, and there's gonna be events going on from Monday to that next. It's gonna be longer than that. It's gonna be from Monday to that next Tuesday because they're doing SmackDown still. It's gonna be an extravaganza. It's gonna be from Tuesday to Tuesday. It's gonna be nothing but wrestling all over New York City.
It's my first Mania. I'm going to. I'm trying to see what's up with Access. I've never done any of that stuff.
It's gonna be a jam-packed weekend. It's gonna be.
I'm gonna see about trying to.
It's gonna
be there and be live.
Takeover on Friday. It's gonna be so many different. It's gonna be Progress, House of Glory, ICW, so New Japan Pro Wrestling. There's gonna be so many different wrestling shows going on that weekend. It's gonna be for a wrestling fan. If you can get up to New York City, if you're not in New York City, that's where you need to be at. WrestleMania weekend is where it's gonna be at.
One of those rare occurrences I would really appreciate living in New York.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be all over, and everything gonna be at the Barclays. Are you kidding me? It's gonna be. I
can save on hotel fare.
It's gonna be
flight.
Yeah, it's gonna
use that towards my tickets.
Yeah, it's gonna.
But also in the rumors are Matt Hardy might be the GM, taking over for Corbin if he loses at TLC.
Bad decision.
So.
Bad decision.
I think Matt creatively can bring something to Raw. And I'm pretty sure they'll use him as a comedy thing. But I know where you're going with it. You want to see the broken universe. You want to see him at his full potential. I agree with that. But I also think if he's injured, we might as well use him in any capacity. Because the vignettes he used to do and the segments he used to do with the broken universe, he produced that on his own along with his
and he doesn't have to wrestle for that.
Rebby.
He don't have to wrestle for that. So using him as a general manager is pointless. It's pointless.
We have Jack Hager, which is Jack Swagger, making his MMA debut at Bellator 214, and his opponent is JW Kaiser, and they're in the undercard of that event.
And he also recently lost the NWA World Heavyweight Championship match to the National Treasure, Nick Aldis. That's my guy right there. If you don't know who Nick Aldis is, that is the NWA World Heavyweight Champion. He recently beat Cody in 2 out of 3 falls. He's a lot better than people give him credit for, and what the internet put him
And for those who need it a little bit more simple, he's Mickey James' husband.
Mickey James' husband.
Mickey James' husband, NWA heavyweight champion. They actually just put the 2 out of 3 falls match with him and Cody Rhodes for public viewing on NWA's website. So check that out. That was definitely good rivalry, a lot of history, and it culminated at All In, where Cody won the NWA title for the first time, following in the footsteps of Dusty Rhodes. And on my end, lastly, as far as news, congratulations to Aleister Black and Zelina Vega. I didn't even know they were dating, but they're married.
That's the way you gotta keep it sometimes. You know what I'm saying? That's the way you gotta keep it
That's an odd couple. I would have never guessed that.
That's how they walk down the wedding. That's how they walk down.
You know what? I put money that's exactly how he came out. He came out of the casket like yeah, tarot symbols all over the wedding and stuff. It was like a Hot Topic wedding,
So, man, listen. For everybody out there that has been waiting for Pac or Neville, as you may have known, for Pac to come back. Pac has come back. He's had a couple of matches. I've seen this 4-way match he had.
The king of the cruiserweights.
The king is dead. It's Pac now.
The king is dead.
Yo, Pac is just.
But the North remembers.
He's back. We are finally getting. I would have personally booked this match at Wrestle Kingdom, but I think Will Ospreay won't be medically clear till then. But at Progress in February, it will be Will Ospreay versus Pac, and oh my God, this is just. I can just the stars.
Will Ospreay versus Pac versus Neville. Oh my God!
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
we're gonna see Will Ospreay coming off looking like a missile. He's gonna come off looking like a missile, and then this guy's gonna look like a spaceship. They're gonna have them. Their whole fight is gonna be in the air.
It's
on some Dragon Ball Z shit.
It's gonna be awesome. It's really gonna be awesome.
That's crazy.
Spoiler alert, the Young Bucks will be on the last day of the New Japan Pro Wrestling Tag Team League. I mean, hey man, better late than never. So, Cody, like we said earlier, Cody was spotted at the NFL game with the Jacksonville Jaguars owner. It's his son. His son is the big wrestling fan. His son is like the really big wrestling fan.
You said the owner of the Jacksonville.
Yeah, his son. It's his son that's like the really big. Like,
I mean, hey, what the hell else he got to spend his money on?
Listen, man. Did you see Being Elite this week?
I did. I think I missed the last couple minutes and got distracted, but I did see the majority of it.
So, Christopher Daniels still in a slump because Flip told him that he's really not from SCU. Marty finally got somebody to come to the party.
Wait, don't just skim over that.
What happened?
He comes out with the 2 beers.
Oh yeah.
He drinks one, then he drinks the other, and he's like venting to the Bucks, and the Bucks are like, we can't relate. We just can't relate. We're actually from SCU. And then they just walk out on Christopher Daniels and leave him in his slump. And they're like, we don't drink. He offered them
we don't do alcohol.
Alcohol, that was
They didn't even say it right. We don't do alcohol.
Yeah, we don't do alcohol.
But Marty invited Flip to his party, and Flip said he would come. And then Kenny...
Finally, after all these episodes, somebody said yes to Marty's party.
Yeah, then Kenny called Marty and asked him why he didn't invite him to the party.
Now, what was Kenny doing before he started speaking to Marty?
Kenny's still teasing his WWE moves. There's a lot of opportunity, man.
The funny thing he said was, wow, that salary is looking really good. Really good. I mean, I made that on just last Saturday, but in one show, but it's about the opportunity, right? So it's like a pot shot, but also like a little tease. Man, we know you're AEW, bro. Like, stop teasing WWE.
Hey, man.
Then again, hey, if he pops up at the Rumble, maybe it's just a short-term contract
Hey, man, we got
until AEW's on the road. You never know.
we got a case of the money shakes going around bad. Speaking of the money shakes, so Cody's back to himself, full for All-In Championship on, and him and Brandy are about to celebrate, and Brandy reaches for the glass, and looks like Brandy got a case of the money shakes now.
Oh, where? Yeah, I didn't see that part. See?
And then Cody finally is hearing he's finally hearing the countdown clock.
What, Jericho's coming on?
No, the countdown clock. They all the contracts are coming up.
He's actually hearing it now?
Yeah. He's
Oh, my
actually
God.
getting the contract now. And Hangman Page is on the phone with somebody. He says, I appreciate the offer, but I'm sticking.
I saw that part.
Together. So maybe talking to H, and then ended off with
Did you notice that the phone was an old wire phone
old
without
wire
the
phone.
wire?
Yeah. It's so ridiculous. And Nick Jackson, it ended with Nick Jackson having a premonition.
Yeah.
And the last time Nick Jackson had a premonition, the Bullet Club basically kicked out the Elite. That's basically what happened the last time he had a premonition. And to end this new segment off, Chris Jericho, he wasn't spotted because he took the picture. He was with the executives from Impact. Don Callis, Scott D'Amore, Ed Normanin.
I don't think he'll commit to a long-term contract with them. I think he'll do like a one-off or maybe a quick series of matches for them. But
Yeah.
I think if the AEW is really getting off the ground, he's gonna be a part of that.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna. I don't think Jericho's committing to anybody. Chris Jericho's gonna do what Chris Jericho wants. He's gonna be in New Japan. He might pop up on Impact once in a while, and if the opportunity's right, he might pop up on Ring of Honor. Chris Jericho does what Chris Jericho wants.
Yeah.
Chris Jericho might pop up back in the WWE because
Right at the Rumble, just to be in the Rumble for 40 minutes.
So
That's a Jericho thing to do.
That's Chris Jericho. That's Chris Jericho. Oh, Finn saying that he's over.
He's over the moon. But so that's all you have for news?
that is it for
All right.
outside of WWE world. Now we're entering inside the WWE.
So now we're on to Monday Night Raw, and this Monday Night Raw definitely had a lot of fan backlash because they've been just focusing on 6 people, the same 6 people. That's kind of how a lot of people have been feeling. That's pretty much how people have been feeling. They're not liking the fact that there's only 6 people being featured on a 3-hour show. I definitely agree. There's a lot of people that are getting overlooked, and it's ridiculous. But we start the show with Baron Corbin, Drew McIntyre, and my man. And we have them talking about their attack on Braun Strowman. And, they're gloating in the ring. Baron Corbin selling the fact that he's might be the permanent general manager for Raw. And he's telling basically the roster, what side of history are you going to be on? Are you going to be... Well, I don't know I think Road Dogg's booking this crap.
No, he's no. Do not throw Road Dogg into this. Road Dogg writes for the A show. He writes for SmackDown.
Oh, does he?
Yes,
He's on SmackDown
for the A show.
So who is booking this?
I don't know. Matter of fact, good. Let me tell you who's actually booking this crap. So I actually did have a little bit more news, but a segue better into this. What a surprise! Vince McMahon wrote last week's Raw after he got restless. Raw's ratings went down a shitter in the third hour. It was the worst. It was the worst third hour this year.
The dream has no memory of that.
So many people have deemed last week's Raw the worst Raw of 2018.
The dream has no memory of that.
I'm glad. I hope nobody has any memory of that because last week's Raw was crap. Do we even have to go through it? What's the point of even going through last week's Raw? Because it was crap. It was trash. That's what it was. You want to know how last week's Raw was? You want to know how last week's Raw was? You want to know what I think of last week's Raw? You want to know what I think of last week's Raw? Huh? Does it? Look at my face. Do I? Huh?
So this Raw, can we agree?
you?
It just needs to be...
Yeah, exactly. It's horrible. It was a horrible Raw. Sure.
Yeah, we have to kind of delete the way that Raw's been run. So continuing,
This is what
it's the
happens.
same focus.
This is what
These
happens when
main
you-
three people out of the six people they're focusing on, the other three being pretty much uh, Rollins, Ambrose, and uh, Elias.
God, isn't that segment flat?
Dolph Ziggler you can't even count because he's like Drew McIntyre's shadow. So
That segment felt flat. Seth
Uh,
Rollins is so not interested in seeing Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose.
so pretty much, well, we didn't get to there yet, but pretty much they're gloating in the ring. Baron Corbin, Drew McIntyre, and Bobby Lashley. Strowman gets on the video. He's talking about putting the hands on everybody, the usual stuff. The lights go out. Elias comes out. He interrupts.
Was this the segment that he had from the hospital bed?
Yes, it was the segment he had from the hospital bed. His arm was legitimately beat the hell up though.
Yeah, it was good makeup. Yeah, but he had bone spurs in there. God, just thinking about this episode of Raw is giving me a headache. It's just so
Do you know?
bad.
Do you know what I think about the booking of Raw recently?
What do you think?
There's only one way to describe it.
Undoubtedly, unquestionably, 100% completely suck.
And yeah, that's definitely how I feel. That's how I feel about the booking on Raw. But continuing on, lights go out. Elias interrupts, segues into a match with Lashley. Of course, Lashley pulls out the victory. Come on, there's no way he's beating him with those other guys at ringside. But the big come out is Bobby Lashley will now be referred by his new name, the Almighty Bobby Lashley, which is a good look. I do like the transition Bobby Lashley's been making the past couple weeks,
Yeah.
but they need I like the group thing they're doing as far as bringing up everybody together, but use the other 2 fucking hours to bring somebody else up. Like, just do it. You have a whole roster back there, and you're not using them correctly. And and you have like storylines crashing together and putting people together in segments for no freaking reason. For example, the whole situation on this Raw with Nia Jax cutting her promo with Tamina, at least to Ronda Rousey coming out. They end up trying to jump Ronda Rousey. Natty comes out, but before she could come out, the Riot Squad come from under the ring. They beat up Natty. Like, let Natty do her own thing with the Riot Squad and let Ronda do her own thing as champion.
I mean, that was actually kind of cool because the Riot Squad they literally came out of nowhere because they were under the ring and they just like popped up out of nowhere. Like, oh, they just popped
Yeah,
up.
but
it
I
was-
just you're throwing you're throwing too much shit at the wall, and it's not all sticking, but it's not blending together. You know, well either. So we have Dean do his little doctor's office segment where. Yeah, this Raw was really bad. I
Raw
can't
was
even lie.
really that bad.
Yeah, Raw was bad this week.
Like literally. Like, it was,
You know, I usually try to see the good things out of every Raw, and I usually do give you reasons every week why Raw had high spots.
come on, go
But
ahead, defend it.
you got Seth and Dean finally clashing, and your way of keeping them apart is because Dean Ambrose is scared of sickness.
No, he's a germaphobe.
He's a germaphobe. Where was this germophobia the whole like 4 or 5 years you was running with the Shield? Where was this germophobia? It's stupid. You guys just need to fucking fight. That's it. We have Lucha House Party versus the Revival, and they're doing this
Lucha
new
House-
thing.
Oh my gosh, just
They're integrating 205 Live,
literally.
that one high spot of Raw this week.
Killing
They're integrating 205 Live, but this Lucha Rules is not good. So
Stupid.
it's
It doesn't
okay.
make any
It's okay for
sense.
3 people to fight a 2-person tag team. They basically abuse the Revival with tag team moves. They pull out the victory.
It's retarded.
It was, I mean, I guess for a comedy thing, but it's again,
You're burying the Revival.
you're burying the Revival week in and freaking week out. you're you're just wasting your freaking
was
talent.
that the main event in a row?
No, that wasn't the main event. I keep asking myself as I run down what happens on the Raw. So, AOP versus
Oh,
Bobby Roode and
gosh.
Gable
The P
for the
segment.
titles.
You know how
I'm not even gonna run through what happened in this match.
Yeah.
AOP won.
Raw's like literally their ratings literally dropped so much during
Did.
this particular.
That was a big newsworthy thing too.
Stupid.
I think it was one of the lowest ratings for a Raw.
This is stupid.
Next segment up was Hawkins, which is replacing Braun Strowman as Ember Moon's partner. Comes out for Moon versus Alicia Fox with Jinder Mahal. Ember Moon ends up getting the win, and Hawkins celebrate. It was funny. Hawkins ends up celebrating like if it was his win because storyline wise and realistically, he's lost every match since he's been back in WWE.
He has over a 200.
He's on a 200 losing streak, so he was actually happy, like if he won, which was funny. No Way Jose interrupts at the end and celebrates with them in the conga line. Long story short, leads into a match with Jinder Mahal. Jinder won.
Oh.
I personally didn't even really like No Way Jose too much, even in NXT. So the transition from NXT to Raw didn't really do him anything.
It's so horrible what they've done to him.
Like,
it's just
I don't like his gimmick at all. It's like he's forever gonna be a joke.
2.0.
Yeah,
this is not even his own gimmick.
He's forever gonna be a joke. So, Seth Rollins comes out, cuts a promo on Dean Ambrose. He actually has his 1,300,000 and what was Doctor Strange's number?
No, let me give you some
in Infinity War.
Let me give you
14 million something.
Yeah, let me give you some real numbers on this though. Let me give you some real numbers though. Ever since June 18th, Dolph Ziggler and Seth Rollins have faced each other over 15 times. Damn. So, which means
not to say that it hasn't been interesting because their matches have been good.
Yeah.
But then 15, okay. I've seen it. We've literally seen it 15 times this year.
So that means there's a 60% chance that you could have randomly just watched the Raw and seen Dolph Ziggler versus
pretty much
Seth Rollins.
Seth ends up with the win against Billy Michaels. Sean Gunn.
He's building this up on social media like the day before. Like, oh, I'm gonna do open challenge. And then who answers? Dolph Ziggler. Like, is that the main event of Raw?
Not yet. So. Baron Corbin ends up stopping Alexa Bliss in the back. Long story short, he makes her in charge of the women's division. And this is storyline for her injury that she's trying to recover from, so keep her in on Raw.
Alexa Bliss gets
so
awesome.
I actually don't mind that. Alexa Bliss is actually a good character, and I see her pulling that off.
Yeah, well, I just want her to, I want her to
so the main event finally is Finn Balor versus Baron Corbin.
I love Balor, but I just don't want to see
it. What can I say about this match? It was good. I will say the match was good, but once again, Baron Corbin mid-match, being the GM, abuses his power, makes the match from a 1-on-1 to a 2-on-1. Claymore kicked the shit out of Finn Balor. Drew McIntyre picks up the win for them. Bobby Lashley and Leo Rush end up coming out to celebrate. My man Bobby Lashley got to get his shine on. Mm-hmm. And Raw ends with them. It looks like they're a big stable. They're really pushing the Baron Corbin being GM, being on the right side of history. That's Raw.
Yeah. Whatever. All that shit from last week. Okay, so the A show, SmackDown, opens up with Paige here. She brings out, of course. SmackDown opens up with the returning of course, the return of Straight fire Becky Lynch. Straight fire Becky Lynch. Let me tell you, Becky Lynch has only
Stone Cold Becky Lynch.
Becky Lynch has only been off TV for what, like 2-3 weeks, and it
It
felt
felt
like
like forever.
eternity. Everybody
It
missed
really did feel like forever.
She came out to a monster pop. So Becky Lynch is in the ring. She calls out Charlotte Flair. Becky Lynch says, "Oh, you're doing a great job channeling your inner Becky Lynch." Now, here's the thing. I love Charlotte Flair, but if you watch SmackDown the week before, Charlotte Flair came out and said, "Oh, I did this for Becky. I did this for all the women in the back. I did this for SmackDown." Then she comes out the next week and says,
"I did it for me.
I did it for me. I did it for this person, and I did it for The Rock." She didn't say I did it for The Rock, but like this is
delete that line of
like,
thinking because you can't even remember.
She completely contradicted her point from last week, but it's okay. It's all right.
I think she did do it for The Rock.
I did it for The Rock.
Maybe she did. Maybe she did do it for The Rock.
Or maybe she did it for the people.
For the people.
I don't know, but so obviously Charlotte Flair, finally, the best Charlotte Flair is a heel Charlotte Flair.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
we have a.
She was shining though.
Yeah,
she was shining in that position.
That's the best Charlotte Flair. That's when she's the most comfortable. She can the promo. When she's a face, her promos are so stagnant and so contrived and just so. But when she's a heel, just like her daddy, when she's a heel, it's just better. It flows better anyway. So this ends up with Becky and Charlotte yelling at each other. They're going to have a rematch at TLC match, which I'm super excited for. The first women's ever TLC match. And this brings out all the SmackDown heel women in the row.
Oh yeah, I that was one of my favorite parts of the show because that's exactly how the hell I felt going into this
What
show.
do you mean? It felt like how?
That they only have 3 good people on the show. 3 people who can even
For their
go
booking
toe to toe
Yeah.
with Ronda Rousey, Charlotte, Asuka, and Becky.
And they basically just dug up Asuka from the ground because they've been burying her all year. And after all the heel faces, all the face women on SmackDown come out in a row. But then
Coming out to glow. Oh,
yeah,
man.
well, that was so funny. I mean, shout out to Naomi, she's dope. But the Asuka,
She is dope,
the
but
crowd
I
just
don't
love
know.
Asuka.
I just never got with this glow gimmick. Like, oh, lights. Can I see you win?
I mean,
like,
not
can
for
I
nothing.
see you win?
Naomi won the women's Royal Rumble. I mean, not the women's Royal Rumble. The Battle Royal at WrestleMania and WrestleMania 33. She did.
When was the last time Naomi won something of substance?
The dream has no memory of that.
Unfortunately, WWE, like, she had a good title run, and then they just ended it with Natalya just tapping her out, and that was just the end of it. But with all the heel SmackDown women out and all the face women SmackDown out, Paige sets up a battle royal and says the winner will be entered into the match with Becky and Charlotte and will be the first ever triple threat women's TLC championship match. What I liked about this is that they didn't shove this down our throat. It was just, hey, this is gonna be This is gonna be the first women's triple threat TLC match, and that's it. Because it doesn't need it. I mean, yes, it's a big deal, but the women are on equal footing with the men. We don't need to make this a big, first time ever, historic breaking. It just is.
I agree.
It is what it is.
I definitely agree with that. You know what I need?
More of that SmackDown Live. More of that SmackDown Live. More of that. Whoever wrote this show, you definitely didn't make the list.
I'm sorry, Road Dogg.
Road Dogg did a good job this week,
You
man.
actually booked good.
This was a good
I
show.
thought you was booking raw.
And
Sorry about that.
Oh no, he definitely wasn't. And then we cut down to a backstage promo. It was early in the day with Showbar, and Cesaro was pissed off at Big Show because he wasn't there last week for the Thanksgiving fight, and he pulled.
I was afraid that putting Big Show with the bar was gonna be for no reason.
I love
and
SmackDown.
it seems like that's what.
I love SmackDown, but you know how I felt about this segment? God damn, what was that show's 80,000 million, 100 trillionth time going from face to heel? Who cares? Give a monkey's ass.
Big Show is actually known specifically for turning so many times.
Yeah, it's a running joke. And then we get the Usos versus the Bar in a really good TV match. Just went through like 2 commercial
So was
breaks.
this the Doctor Strange number 14 million something
No,
match
no,
of the Bar versus Uso too?
No, we haven't been getting run down with the Bar versus Usos. It's been the New Day versus the Bar that's been
But
getting.
man, it's been all 3 of those
down.
teams. They need to start putting
Yeah, but
sanity on the map.
They do. And
And
the Good Brothers.
the good. You have the Good Brothers on your show.
The Good Brothers.
Forgot about that.
It's a damn
And you know what?
shame.
That's sad because they were actually used like a week or so ago.
Yeah, but yeah. So I mean, the Usos have been on a winning streak. They beat Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles 2
I
weeks
think
in
they
a
got
row.
five in a row.
Yeah, then they won the SmackDown Live, and then they beat the Bar. I don't know where the other one is, but they're apparently #1 contenders. Then AJ Styles, what I really liked about this, AJ Styles sitting in the back, real tense, and then a guy came up to him and was like, "Hey, it's time." AJ Styles gets out, come out to the ring, cuts a real badass promo, puts over the match with him and Daniel Bryan. And, you know, it was a good, it was an okay promo, you know, it was an okay promo. Then next we get a backstage segment with the New Day and The Miz, and
Oh, this is when he
Miz-
challenged.
yeah, people.
Well,
people
he's one half of the best in the world.
He's 2/3 best in the world. He's 2/3 best in the world.
Let's get that straight.
And The Miz comes back there. The New Day are watching something on the phone, and The Miz is just like, "Oh, I knew you guys are watching the Marine 6, and you guys are secret Mariners."
I knew you was a closet Mariner. I knew it.
And then Xavier Woods says, "Oh, the Marine 6 starring Becky Lynch? No, we weren't watching that. We were watching last week, the week before that, Daniel Bryan. The Bryan brothers basically kind of jobbed out the Miz. I mean, it was a comedy match to just put over Shane and Miz trying to become this tag team match, or rather the Miz trying to make Shane McMahon his tag team partner. And I forgot to write down on my notes. There was a backstage segment. No, I think that comes up later. So there's a backstage segment after this with the Miz goes up to Shane McMahon, and Shane McMahon conveniently has the Best in the World trophy just sitting there, best in the world. And the Miz is just like, "Listen, man, where were you, man? I needed you out there. You know,
Like
I
a
needed
real
you
tag
out there.
team.
You know what I'm saying? We gotta be like a real tag team. We gotta be like family." I actually no, I'm pretty sure that was after the Kofi Kingston and Miz match. I mean, listen, I may have said it out of order. Kofi Kingston and Miz, they have a match. It's a WWE TV match. It was fine. I'm so excited about this. Shinsuke Nakamura might have a storyline. So it was Shinsuke Nakamura versus, I know,
What?
right? Shit.
What? Hold on.
Let me say
What?
that one more time. Shinsuke Nakamura might have a storyline. He's only been United States champion for 4 whole months.
Damn, it's been 4 months
It's
already.
been 4 months. And he might have a storyline. So, it was a match set up between Rusev Day and Shinsuke Nakamura. Before the match even started, King Shaza. Right to the back of the
Oh yeah, the match didn't even continue at all. Like it was over.
Threw him out the ring, King Shaza. I love it. This is if
See, and that's the thing. Heel Nakamura fucking works.
it works.
They need to just run with it.
But he gets
They
over
got
though.
the pieces,
He's
man.
so over though, because when he comes out, all you hear is oh.
Yeah, I mean not anymore with the new remix, but
Everybody still loves Nakamura, but this is badass Nakamura that we want. So hopefully, fingers crossed, there's gonna be a rivalry between Rusev Day and Shinsuke Nakamura. Next, we get an in-ring promo from Randy Orton. Randy Orton cut a promo. That's literally my notes. I mean, it wasn't a bad promo, but I'm really.
it's a typical Randy Orton promo.
I'm
Just say it. It's
I'm
a typical.
perplexed.
We already used to this. It's like regurgitated the same thing over and over. But I like Randy, but
I like heel
he's
Randy
turned.
Orton.
I like heel Randy Orton. I like that he's back to destroying people. But you
I
know
don't
what?
get it.
Make him silent.
I don't get it.
Just make him slither in and out, and just beat people's asses, whoop them out, and just go back to doing your thing. You don't even need to speak. I feel like he got that old school way of cutting promos that's like,
It's boring.
oh,
Contrived.
so it's like, yeah, you're gonna say how dominant you are right now, and then you're gonna, like, he's good at what he does, but
Randy Orton.
I want him to be the silent assassin
Randy
right
Orton's
now.
the guy that needs to go out there and be able to say what he feels in his heart. He's not a guy that can go out there and say a scripted line.
And it sounds pretty scripted.
I don't know where this Rey Mysterio and Randy Orton feud is going. Randy Orton.
It looks like it might end up to a Vince Russo mask on a pole match.
Good gosh, that's I'm not even going through the rest of that segment. That segment has been deleted. So the entire night they've been building up Jeff Hardy's 20th anniversary in the WWE.
Asterisk 24th.
It's
Continue.
24th, but it's fine. They've been building up this in the entire night. And, you know, he comes out, the entire SmackDown roster is on the ramp. He comes out, there's pictures in there. And for some odd reason, Michael Cole is interviewing him. I think Michael Cole is like the voice of the WWE, so they really want to make it feel special. I think it was cool, but then he Thanos'd away. Like, he introduced Jeff Hardy, and then he just Thanos'd away. Like, why didn't he just stay out there and interview him? We'll get to that in 1 second. So, Jeff Hardy's out there, you know, going through his career. They played this. One thing about WWE, their video packages are better than anybody on the planet. And I mean it. NFL, NBA, at me. Their video packages are so dope. So they do this video package for Jeff Hardy. You just remember, oh my God, this is why Jeff Hardy is freaking awesome. This is why we love Jeff Hardy. So they go through that. Jeff Hardy's like, you know, this is no way in a retirement speech.
You know what? What kind of irked me watching this?
What?
Where the fuck was the mention of Matt Hardy? Since technically they have the same tenure.
I mean, he was in a lot of the video packages, but it was mostly about Jeff Hardy's, you know, they focused like kind of on his solo career. Like, you saw the tag teams, but it was really about his solo career. So I understand that. And then, you know, Jeff Hardy's like, you know, this is not a retirement speech. This is kind of like a new beginning. You know, and he's like, you know, I'm really excited for the next chapter. And then all of a sudden, I deemed him the Samoan Savage. Joe comes out. And he's like, yo, man, I'm sorry I'm late. I was popping some champagne in the back. I would have invited you, but I'm pretty sure that's not a good thing for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Samoa Joe is a straight savage.
Let me keep the alcohol away from you. We already know your backstory.
Samoa Joe is a straight savage. And the night before this, it wasn't the night before this, but the weekend before it was Starrcade. And I felt like they just buried Samoa Joe. With this one promo, Samoa Joe is right back on top. He put his foot on Jeff Hardy's neck, not literally, verbally. He just crushed
Jeff did like offer like a fight in the ring right
and
there.
He did a perfect heel thing.
And he was like,
on my time. Because he didn't have to. He already crushed Jeff verbally, so there was really nothing else. He just basically ranted on about, you know, we all know that Jeff Hardy he had a substance abuse issue, and he was going off like, you know, it's not going to be your last time.
You know what? When he was talking, it made me flash back to that TNA pay-per-view with
Sting?
Jeff. Yeah, Jeff versus Sting.
Ooh.
It made me flash back to that. That was like the first time I felt like Jeff really let me down. Like,
oh man, you let the whole. I mean, I wasn't even watching wrestling.
No,
I remember hearing.
Man, it was so bad. Eric Bischoff had to come out and literally save the day, and like,
dude, Jeff Hardy was supposed to
you
be
can hear Eric Bischoff say, 1, 2, like hit him with the Scorpion Death Drop. 1, 2, 3 is over. Get him out of here.
Yeah.
Like,
Jeff Hardy was supposed to be the top of the world, and he got caught up on that drug. So he was WWE champion. Jeff Hardy was.
Yeah, he was doing big things.
So yeah, hey man, it happens, man. He probably needed to go through that to get to the person that he is now.
Yeah, but everybody loves Jeff.
So what's cool about this is now, so far in SmackDown, we got a rivalry, possibly, fingers crossed, Shinsuke Nakamura and Rusev, and a new rivalry between Samoa Joe and Jeff Hardy. So it's already cool, good things. The Usos are the number 1 contenders. So it's already we got a battle royal coming up with all the women, and whoever wins this is gonna go against Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair at SmackDown. So this is a really awesome battle royal. And Asuka dominated.
Shouts out to Sonya Deville, who actually lasted to the end.
Keep building her, yo.
Yeah, they definitely showed that she has potential.
Yeah, Sonya Deville is awesome. Sonya Deville is awesome. They kind of, I liked it. Asuka really dominated this battle royal. They kind of ended it in the same spot they did at the Women's Royal Rumble with Sonya Deville and Asuka on the outside, and we thinking that Asuka's gonna lose because Mandy Rose is on the outside pulling Asuka down. She kicks off Mandy Rose, gives Sonya Deville the knee, and Asuka is on. It's gonna be Asuka versus Straight Fire Becky Lynch, the man versus Charlotte, and oh my goodness, I mean,
Now, I can see them easily having Asuka win because Charlotte and Becky are too focused on each other. That'll
just
have
cancel each
Becky.
other out.
That'll have Becky without the title, possibly being able to go into the Women's Rumble
Yep.
and winning that way, having our WrestleMania, Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey for the title.
I can definitely see that. I can definitely see that. I mean, Becky Lynch is literally the hottest thing in professional wrestling right now. She was in the top power rankings.
Was
of
that how
ESPN.
we? Is that how SmackDown ended?
That is how SmackDown run ended with Asuka winning.
The women closed out the show.
Yep, main event.
No Daniel Bryan.
No Daniel Bryan this week.
Actually,
No Daniel Bryan this
you
week.
forgot
he
to
sent
mention.
a tweet though. He sent a tweet about that.
Maybe you don't know where you are.
Oh no, I said about his promo. I just didn't give him the whole build up.
Puff and you continue to blow. Let me remind you that
Is it though?
this is the house that AJ Styles built.
I mean,
It still is.
There actually
It
is.
still
There
is.
is one line he really did say that I liked. He said, "I was champion for 371 days. I haven't been champion for 14 days. And these 14 days, I felt longer than these 371 days." So that was.
That's
really,
how a real championship feel.
That was really. Oh my gosh, this match is. Whew. You know we watch wrestling while we do pop. Pete Dunne versus Jordan Devlin. He also went against Volta. This match is straight up 5-star match. You straight up 5-star match that they're gonna have for this main event. Straight
Yeah,
up
British
5-star.
Strong Styles actually been doing 3-on-3 matches recently too.
Yo, man, I love British Strong Style. Love the NXT UK. Speaking of NXT UK, next week on This Week in Wrestling, we will officially be adding NXT, NXT UK, and 205 Live. Because we love, man, we gotta show the love to NXT UK, man. Those guys are putting on great matches.
It's starting to peak and get out of those taped
that's something
segments
to
that we
catch
already
up.
knew months in advance.
I personally feel like when New Japan Wrestling is like they're doing the tag team league right now,
Which is why there's not a lot of
it's just a lot.
New Japan
we can
heavy
cover it.
news.
I mean, it's honestly they kind of have the same matches in different combinations.
Yeah,
The
and
matches don't really have too much stakes. They really don't have any stakes.
the only real big news going into the tag league is that the Bucks
Bucks are showing up at the last day.
joined in the last day. They weren't there for the whole thing, but
The
they're there.
GOD never put up the titles. They've been in. That's why we like.
Which, speaking of GOD, and I feel like the Bullet Club, ever since they recruited, they did the big recruitment thing with Jay White and coming out, but what have they really been doing since,
because the story anticlimactic.
The
whole Bullet Club versus
that Bullet Club war, the Bullet Club versus Elite War should have lasted longer than a match, longer than just the Bucks dropping the titles.
After the G1 special, after the Bullet Club came out and beat up the Elite, that was pretty much the end of it. The GODs had the match against the Bucks. The GOD got the titles, and that was the end of it. That should have been a whole. If I was booking this, that's would have been the whole storyline built up. I would have had, honestly, the Elite lose all the belts at Wrestle Kingdom. Honestly. That's just me, personally. I would have put all the belts on the Elite, had to lose all at Wrestle Kingdom, and that's how you really put over the Bullet Club. They completely or you do a Bullet Club versus the Elite, and whoever wins gets to name the Bullet Club, and that's why you can do a kayfabe version of why they changed the name to the Elite. But I mean, it's still good booking, but it just ended so anticlimactic. You know what I'm saying? It kind of
But even if you weren't going to continue the storyline with the Elite, they could be doing way more. You know
what? And I think this might also be some backstage tensions because I mean, you got to think about it. They were their biggest things, and all of a sudden now you got AEW talks. You got The Elite are doing their own thing now, man. The Elite are doing their own thing. The Elite are their own entity. So, but they did say that they want to still work with New Japan, and Cody is still.
Who wants to still work with New Japan?
Cody said that he still wants to work with New Japan, and also.
How would that even work though?
I think what's going to honestly
confusing.
happen. I think these guys are going to still float around between New Japan, Ring of Honor, and
so they probably
Impact. until AEW or until all that stuff really gets hammered down and ironed out, they're still going to bounce around between those companies. But it's just going to be literally the Elite versus New Japan, the Elite versus Impact, the Elite versus this. Like, they're going to roll together and they're going to just come and just be them versus whatever promotion they're in. Then when things get started, AEW starts, you know? That's my assumption. I don't know. But whatever they do, they're going to stick together. But we can talk about this forever. We can talk about this until AEW starts. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, I've been Richie Moon.
And I'm Kayfabe AJ.
I don't know what I was going to say Kayfabe. I'm sorry. I'm Kayfabe AJ. That's Richie Moon. Kenny, take us home. We did it. We did This Week in Wrestling in an hour. That's it, man. That's what we need to do. And we spent mad time on the news, too. That was a really good episode. I like that episode. That was a really cool episode.
And that was This Week in Wrestling.
We're still live.
For the people on the live cast. Because it's the live cast and the podcast. We out of here.
I forgot we were recording.